Welcome. I'm here with Jerry and Tina, our speakers for the upcoming Sediment and Erosion Control for Construction Sites Masterclass Series. You both work for Hydrodynamics Incorporated. Tell us a little about what you do there.
Well, I'll start with this one myself. Basically, hydrodynamics has been since 1983, and we deal with drainage, we deal with water rights, we deal definitely with sediment erosion control and water quality issues, as well as get involved with expert testimony, design of projects, items that you would find on almost any general consulting firm.
So that being the case, Jerry, I assume you have a ton of experience with construction sites, roadways, and all things erosion control. Tell us about your background and how you got into this field.
My whole exposure to sediment erosion control began when I was working on my doctorate at Utah State University. I had an opportunity to evaluate various erosion control products on a rainfall simulator, and lo and behold, found out that this was kind of a fun thing to do, but more importantly, found out how little information was out there about what is the best way of doing some of the erosion control, what are the best ways of trying to remove sediment out of runoff waters, and so forth down the line. When I started working for a consulting firm, I was hired with regard to making and looking at water quality issues, and part of that, of course, was the issues associated with sediment and controlling sediment. And eventually it just evolved to a point where I decided to get much more involved as a result, not only doing design work, but also doing inspection work, being a consultant whenever people had concerns about this particular endeavor, and evolved into the actual teaching of the classes themselves. Along with that, of course, is the writing of a couple of manuals and publishing a fair number of papers. It's been an interesting endeavor all around in the fact that there's an awful lot to this business that, yes, I learn a lot, but I find out how little I truly know sometimes.
Thanks, Jerry. Tell us what you like most about your work.
I like to be able to solve problems, and water quality is a huge problem environmentally, obviously, but more importantly is being out there to work with other engineering firms. And I've found out the education aspect of it is becoming very rewarding in the fact that able to impart lots of information about this discipline of trying to control erosion, trying to control sediments, not only to designers but also to contractors, inspectors, and so forth.
Well, we love learning every day here at Forester U too. Now, a couple of questions for Tina. Tina, tell us a little about your background and how you got into this field.
Well, I kind of fell into it by accident through a summer internship that I was just looking for some work to get some real world experience, and a cover letter was sent to me by one of my professors, and I looked at it and said, I have no idea what this is all about, what this sediment control, what erosion control is, but I thought, well, there's a good way to find out, so I contacted Jerry, and he brought me into the company, and I started by doing actual on sites. And then the second summer intern I did for him, I actually started being taught how to do the design end of it as well.
We're glad you two got together and started teaching. What do you like most about your work?
What I like most about my work probably is the fact that it's a mixture of being able to be out in the field as well as being able to be behind the computer doing the actual designs or reviews. And to a certain extent, I've also come to enjoy the actual teaching, because to me, what better way to try and inform people of what is actually correct and where things are being done wrong out in the industry than by actually going out there and trying to teach it to them and try and give them the information that they need to do a better job.
Getting out in the field is a definite bonus. One last question now for Jerry. What advice do you have for those entering this field?
The biggest thing I think that comes out of it is, if you're going to be involved with sediment erosion control to meet certain rules and regulations, get to know the ins and outs, the limitations of products that you may put, say, in front of inlets or install around a perimeter. In other words, get to know all aspects about sediment erosion control. and tailor to what your disciplines are. If you're a designer, it means you got to know a lot of materials. You got to know a lot of information on here. If you're an inspector, know those limitations and be able to communicate with the designers and the contractors. So it's a pretty broad field there, but basically get educated. That's probably the most important item that I can advise to anybody listening in here today.
We agree wholeheartedly. You can start your education online today with Jerry and Tina by signing up for our Sediment and Erosion Control for Construction Sites Masterclass series. Go to forestryuniversity.net to sign up today and save 20%. And for more from the dynamic duo, check out their other videos on our YouTube channel.